Alec Pierce is going to be a free agent. The number that's getting to for a dude that I'm not sure what else there is to his game besides a deep ball just gives me some pause. I did just see a report from CBS Sports. Tampa Bay receiver Mike Evans is set to hit free agency next week, and there's a real chance he will take his talents elsewhere. It is still early, but Houston and Kansas City don't seem to be in on Evans, according to sources. If Evans does not return to Tampa, keep an eye on the Bills, Chargers, Niners, Commanders, and Giants. His price is going to be difficult to gauge, though. He will be 33 this season, coming off an injured year, and there aren't many comparisons to him out there. Evans may aim for something close to $25 million per year in what would amount to a 2-year deal, but sources believe he'll get something closer to $20 million per year. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans is an absolute beast, 6'5". I think he had 11 straight seasons with 1,000 yards. Last year, though, hamstring issues. Only played 8 games, 30 catches for 368 yards with 3 touchdowns. He'll be 33 in August. How you feel about him, Mike Evans?
I don't. Because, I listen, man, there was a certain point of talking last year about trying to get younger and start moving towards the future. Mike Evans has done a lot of stuff. I think his best years are behind him. I don't think he's a guy you're going to be looking at playing with you 2-3 years down the road. We are in this situation now because we kept doing stuff like that. I'm not interested in Mike Evans.
I tend to agree with you, dude. I think he could play, but that doesn't get you younger. If they didn't want to pay Terry, who had been here and had been healthy, I'm not sure you want to pay Mike Evans. Which brings me to last week. Adam Schefter was on our friend PFT Commenters podcast. Pardon My Take podcast. And PFT doesn't hide that he's a Commanders fan when he talks to Shefty. And I think arguably the most interesting subplot surrounding Washington going into this free agency cycle is what the heck's going to happen with Brandon Aiyuk, who's widely believed to be released next Wednesday, the first day of the new league year. Jeff and I tracked down audio of that interview with Schefter talking about Brandon Aiyuk with PFT Commenter.
He was shredded.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess what I'm fishing for, and I'm really just fishing, is can you tell me that the Commanders are not going to sign Brandon Aiyuk?
Well, I can't say that because him and Jaden Daniels are close.
Yeah.
And Jaden may push for him. So I think that's a possibility. And just go back and look at the teams that the Niners spoke to when they're having trade talks. The Steelers, the Commanders, the Patriots. So I would think all those teams would at least check in on it.
What do you think? Schefter says...
Well, like he said, I can't say no because they're close. But you can't say yes either. Because you don't know exactly what the complications could be, what could happen in that contract. Listen, a lot of players like people on a team. You're not obligated to sign them. You know, if it's beneficial and it makes sense, makes dollars and cents, then you do it. But if it doesn't, then you don't do it. You know, if it's something and if they are complete, it doesn't have to be Jaden. It has to be Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and Josh Harris being comfortable that he is beyond whatever he was going through.
800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. Schefter says you can't rule out Washington with Brandon Aiyuk. There's a CBS Sports report that says Washington might be interested in Mike Evans. Alec Pierce, Juwan Jennings, Wan'Dale Robinson. There will be free agent names available. What do you want them to do at the wide receiver position? Do you want them to pursue Brandon Aiyuk? Of the talent and age discussion, Aiyuk should be at the top of that list. But then you add injury and off-field paranormal activity, and Aiyuk might be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go through everything with every person and figure out what is most beneficial and how does it fit with your game plans.
How much does Jaden wanting him matter? How much should it matter?
Well, I mean,
if Jaden even wants him.
If your quarterback is interested in someone and they have a familiarity, you have to kick the tires on it. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to do it. You know, if every time someone said it, if that starts happening, then every time somebody said they like somebody, you got to go get it for them. You don't have to get to that point. Because one thing about it, in this league, you're going to find out that friends ain't going to be playing with friends a lot. But you know what they do? They remain friends.
Right. You could be friends, and I mean, he might need some friends, right? But I don't know. I don't know, man. The Jaden stuff, the Aiyuk stuff gives me some pause, but I don't know that it'll matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might. I also think if you can get him for something really cheap, it might change the trajectory, right? And I can't imagine Aiyuk's got a ton of leverage. But would you be more interested in Aiyuk or Evans? Or elsewhere?
I mean, if I had to pick between those two, I'll go with Aiyuk because he's younger. But I still want to find out what's best for the team. And just like this team goes to the combine and interview people and they find out stuff, if they interview with them and they feel cool with them, I'm with that. You know, that's like what Kevin Durant said the other day. I'm not trying to put on my hat to become who they are, but if they go through all the things, their little tests of what they need to do, and they find out they're cool with it, I'm cool with that. But I want that to be the decision. I don't want the decision of nobody else wanting him here or liking him to be that final say.
It has to be that he's ready to play.
He fits. He fits exactly what we want, and he's beyond all the other riffraff.
800-636-1067. 800-636-1067. Jeff, can you play Schefter talking with PFT one more time? This is via the Pardon My Take podcast. Adam Schefter on the possibilities of Brandon Aiyuk coming to Washington.
You are
Big
with
J.
NFL media. You're not allowed to ask those kinds of questions
stuff.
anymore.
Yeah.
We're going after you. No, it just feels like it's been so weird there for so long. I would expect that the market for Brandon Aiyuk might not be robust, but I think in the NFL, if you can run a route and catch a pass, there'll be guys lined up to sign
But we don't know what he's physically going to be like. His knee was shredded.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess what I'm fishing for, and I'm really just fishing, is can you tell me that the Commanders are not going to sign Brandon Aiyuk?
Well, I can't say that because him and Jaden Daniels are close.
Yeah.
And Jaden may push for him. So I think that's a possibility. And just go back and look at the teams that the Niners spoke to when they're having trade talks. The Steelers, the Commanders, the Patriots. So I would think all those teams would at least check in on it.
Check in on it.
Yeah.
Let's go to our guy Toothpick is on the line. Pick,
Hey,
what do you
what's
think
good,
about Aiyuk, man?
No. Listen. Remember back in the day, you would draft a quarterback, and then they would draft a wide receiver, say, "Hey, they're just going to play catch for the next 10 years." We was in such a rush to push Terry out the door, but there is no solution in place. I don't want any of these old guys. Let's find this guy someone to play catch with for the next 10 years, right? If we know we got a quarterback, let's find him a wide receiver. We got him a left tackle that we got to re-sign. Left tackle of his quarterback, left tackle, and wide receiver. Let's find the wide receiver. Look at a draft. That's where I say, let's go.
Appreciate your pick. We got a bunch of folks on the line. Adam Schefter says he can't rule out Brandon Aiyuk to Washington. Also says Steelers, Patriots are options. Taking your calls next. It's BMitch and Finlay on the Fan.